Shalom, Shalom and welcome. My name is Symmanayah, and these are the words I'm compelled to present before an awakening set-apart nation. This is Seed to Harvest, a series of messages that will show parallel lessons as it relates from conception to birth and beyond, things that we can learn, that we can apply to our spiritual lives, my brothers and sisters. If you are one who seeks to do the will of the Almighty Father, if you are one who are drawn by the Almighty Yahuah to his word Yahusha, as written in John 6:44, I consider you my brother, my sister, my family. And as I go through this message, I want you to consider subscribing, sharing, and like, if and only if you believe that it warrants your time and sharing with others. Let us utilize the algorithms that YouTube give us that can help lift up words of wisdom, if indeed you deem it to be fit. My brothers and sisters, you can be a contributor towards making things happen even more so, whether it be from me or a brother or a sister. Anyway, let's get started. In this segment of Seed to Harvest, I want to talk about sorting it out. Sorting it out. Something that we must begin to think about, O Yahusha. I present how sorting it out is a major component for end times. We can learn a lot by seeing the parallels between early stages of life and being born again or born from above, as some translation will say. Come as I present why this is needed. In preparation for a newborn, we assess what is needed. Blankets, diapers, breast milk or formulas, a crib, or other places to lay the child are things to consider. Actions are usually centered around the baby, the mother, and sometimes the father. All preparations demonstrate the need to become organized. There will be times of sorting it out. An individual born again or born from above will need to learn how to better organize their path, which requires sorting it out. My brothers and sisters, this subject may seem mundane or too simple, but make no mistake, an unorganized person, one who disregards the need to sort things out, will be as weights in the days ahead, if we find ourselves forging together to complete the final task that the Almighty Father has for us. Come with me to John 3:3 through 6 reads, Yahusha answered and said to him, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born from above, he is unable to see the reign of the Almighty One. Nicodemus said to him, how is a man able to be born when he is old? Is he able to enter his mother's womb a second time and be born? Yahusha answered, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he is unable to enter into the reign of the Almighty One. That which has been born of the flesh is flesh, and that which has been born of the Spirit is spirit. Take these matters serious, my brothers and sisters. You see, there are those among us who may have seen a mother or father unorganized, don't know how to sort things out, stressing from paycheck to paycheck, day to day, feeding, caring for the child, even caring for the child before it is born. The mother must be cared for as well. Sorting it out. Parents or guardians who sort it out experience less stress than those unorganized. It is a monumental task to care for an infant. Let us begin to see similar tasks for caring for those newly awakened to set apartness. We desire to influence the newly awakened, not realizing that there are steps to take to gradually nurture that person into set apartness, to gradually contribute towards one another's maturity. Just as we determine what to give a newborn in regards to milk and or food, at some point we should provide the same for those born from above. You see, the scriptures even tell us about milk or meat, about the inexperienced versus the experienced. In the coming days, we will recognize that Abba Yahuah will bring order and structure to his children. We will discover the need for planning and knowing how to execute the plan. Noah was given detailed instructions. How many among us realize that through the Almighty Yahuah's direction, a phenomenal ark was built? The scriptures tell us not to worry, but they do not encourage ignoring Abba Yahuah's plan. Beware, there are those who are undiscerning and unlearned who will disrupt the process for sorting it out. Whether things or people, they must become organized to successfully fulfill what is written. To you, my brother and my sister, it will be a challenge to discern how the Spirit of Yahuah will guide us as we face sorting it out. You see, many of us, our ego will be strained as we discover how to yield to the most efficient method for becoming organized. It is important that we be prepared, that we are prepared to witness how in discipline perfection will come. Remember, Proverbs 3:5-7. Come with me there. Proverbs 3:5-7 say, trust in Yahuah with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Know him in all your ways, and he makes all your paths straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear Yahuah and turn away from evil. Do you know that fearing Yahuah brings about pause to examine the things we say and or do? With so many different teachings and practices before us, we will learn how to yield to what is true, what is most efficient, what is the better way for sorting it out. Prepare to see how effective the discipline of Yahuah will be as we press into end-time prophecy fulfillment. My brothers and sisters, expect to see a great storm come that will weaken us naturally. Shalum talks about times when he became weak, and in his physical weakness, he became strong in the spirit, for he yielded, he cried out to Abba Yahuah. Out of our physical weakness, all too often, we will discern, we will grow to experience rising up in the strength of set apartness. In other words, prepare to witness individuals become physically weak, literally. Then they will be willing, sometimes then we will be willing to listen and discern what the Almighty Father has to say to us regarding what must be done when it comes to sorting it out and pressing forward. If we study the scriptures, it will not be too difficult to see that famine, pestilence, disease, and more often brought Yahusha to a point of yielding to corrections. I believe we will see examples of our past appear during these last days. When I say our past, I'm talking about Yahusha's past, my brothers and sisters. In Genesis 47:19, one can discover that men came to a point of selling themselves to avoid physical death. Read the entire 47th chapter of Genesis. Here is the pointed message. Specifically, I want you to come with me to Genesis 47:19-21. Genesis 47:19-21 says, why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us in our land for bread, and let us in our land be the servants of Pharaoh. And give us seed, and let us live and not die, and let the land not lie waste. And Joseph bought the entire land of Mitzrayim for Pharaoh, because that every man of the Mitzrayites sold his field, because the scarcity of food was severe upon them. And the land came to be Pharaoh's, And as for the people, he moved them into the cities from one end of the borders of Mitzrayim to the other. They were willing to sell themselves as slavery. Why? Because there was scarcity of food. If you study the scriptures, specifically if you visit Matthew 24th chapter, you will see that famine, pestilence, and disease, wars and fightings, conditions are beginning to magnify that will weaken us, that will make us realize the importance of sorting it out. There's a lot of talk as to what's happening in the world. The time is now to examine and seek to discern what is being ordered by the Almighty Father. The time is now to accept that in the great storms ahead, sorting it out will require us to recognize righteous priorities that will win out, that will prove to be needed as we are gathered for this final exodus, as we are gathered to be where our last days will be lived, O Yahusha. I mention often for us to begin having discussions regarding the realities of end times. Have those discussions, my brothers and sisters. Discuss expectations versus actions and what must be done now and going forward. We should be able to agree that the time is short. We just do not know the precise moment that things will occur. Yahusha, my brother, my sister, remember, Abba Yahuah gives a plan. We just need to discern the process and details of his desire. Rise up, my brothers, my sisters. Let us begin sorting it out as we discern living orders. Let us begin to talk about how to be more efficient in preparation and in doing. Let us not neglect the least among us, nor the oldest among us, and in between. Let us pay close attention to organizing, sorting it out, putting it into action, the things that will require us to be contributors of fulfilling what is written regarding the final exodus, regarding being martyrs for Yahusha's name, regarding being in the right place at the right time with the right people. Yahusha, oh Yahusha, have those discussions. Discern and choose who demonstrates the most efficient and organized way to govern ourselves as we come closer together to fulfill what is promised. On that note, Yahusha, thank you for listening. There is so much more to come. There's a lot to learn. See how the comparison of and the attention given for the baby, the infant, and then consider seeing how you can give attention to the one that is born again, the one that is newly awakened in this set-apart life, and see how it can make a difference and be less stressful. On that note, my brother, my sister, my prayer is that we discern the voice of the Almighty Yahuah that comes to us in the name of his word, Yahusha, in Yahusha's name. Be encouraged. Our redemption draws nigh. On that note, I leave you by saying Shalum. Shalom, my brother, my sister, my family.